Hi guys, it's Kiarko here, back with another speed build. I kind of have to explain in depth what the idea behind the speed build is because there's not really an exact name to what this is. You could call it a national park outpost, maybe? I'm not really sure what I'm gonna title this video yet, but that's kind of what the idea is. I had this concept of a outpost for a national park where these four women live, and they're all like scientists or rangers or something like that. This might be something similar to like a fire watch post, you know, where people go out and live in these national forests and national parks to watch for forest fires, and then they like report it back. It might be something like that. I'm not really sure. I just knew I had this idea that I wanted to build some sort of like government facility where these people would maybe practice like some sort of, conservation or preservation, you know, just kind of taking care of the surrounding environment, keeping watch for fires, illnesses, problems, etc., etc. So they're just kind of like these rangers who live out here in this like little facility. And I imagine this isn't like a permanent residence. This is more like a place where the people come and live for a certain designated amount of time, maybe 6 months, maybe a year, I'm not quite sure, or maybe just like a summer or something like that. But I had this idea for these 4 women to come out here, and they're just kind of like, again, kind of basically like scientists. They're just going out, taking hikes, going to posts, checking in on things, stuff like that. And this is just like the residential place where they live. So the interior of this home has 2 bedrooms, so it's 2 women in each room, kind of like a dormitory kind of situation. And then there's a small little recreational area, kind of like a living room. Then there's a kitchen, and then a big old workspace where they do all the science ranger stuff. And I should note that this is not anything based on real, you know, national park stuff. This is just my personal idea that I had about, you know, what could possibly go on in this situation. So just a disclaimer, again, this is not based on any sort of real situation or real place. So if you are someone who works in a national park and you're like, wow, this is so inaccurate. Yes, I know it is. I just wanted to create something in this forest, or what's it called? Granite Falls, because I really do like this world and I like the environment. And I just wanted to do something that I'm not done before, because I want to do something in this particular environment, but whenever I do Granite Falls, I usually do like cottages or cabins, something like that. And I wanted to do something that was maybe more of like a facility, like a government facility. So that was just the idea behind this. But as always, let me know if you guys have any ideas that you'd like to see me do. I really enjoy fantasy recommendations. Like I know someone recently recommended that I do a series where I make like witches, and then I make different witch homes. And I'm definitely gonna do that because that sounds so fun. Like I could do so much stuff. I could do dark witches, like elemental witches, stuff like that. So that's certainly on my list, but definitely keep recommending stuff like that to me because I love these recommendations. You guys are so creative and definitely giving me so many good ideas. So as always, send me in your recommendations. I really want to hear them. But this is not a fantasy build. This is just a regular old, you know, human build. But maybe my next build will be a fantasy build. I actually don't have a build for tomorrow yet. I usually build pretty close to when I post because I don't know, I just like to stay fresh, I guess. So whenever you guys are hearing my voice in these videos, it's usually pretty frequently close to when I post. So you guys are getting a fresh Kiarko update, I guess. But yeah, so tomorrow I don't have a build yet. I'll do it tonight. Probably, maybe I'll start the witch build. That'd be pretty fun to do. But you know, we'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'll do fairies or something like that. I always like doing fairy builds, you know, because you can play with like gravity a lot. Like I like doing like floating houses for fairies and stuff like that. But I don't know, we'll see. Or maybe like a hobbit hole, you know? That might be fun. But let me know what you guys would like to see tomorrow, or just in the future in general. So right now I'm just laying out the outside of this home, or not home, you know, like facility. I didn't go into too much detail with the exterior, mainly just because I wanted to focus on the interior. I was a little bit tired of exteriors, to be honest, because recently I've been you know, challenging myself a lot with exteriors, which is great. And I mentioned in previous videos that like I'm very happy to challenge myself and get better doing exteriors, but I wanted a little bit of a break. Because I kind of thought that in this particular build, the exterior speaks for itself. It's just like a facility in the middle of the woods. Like, I didn't feel like I needed to do much here. But yeah, here I'm setting up the tiny little kitchen. I've never really used these counters before, I don't think, but I really do like them. I like the aluminum top that they have. It's really cute. And then I'm gonna put in, what's it called? Cabinets above here. Let's see which cabinet. I think I go, yeah, these like purpley cabinets. The inside of this facility, like in terms of wallpaper and flooring, I was trying to make it seem very, I don't know, like government science facility like, but the actual decoration of this place is very like fun and, you know, kind of Urban Outfitters-y, to be honest. And I just kind of imagined that the 4 women who live here are like young, maybe fresh out of college students who, you know, have this really great bond, and this is like, they made it a really fun, like friendly space. So this was all decorated by them is what I imagined. I would love to be in a situation like this where I just like, you get like this house, not necessarily house, but you know, like you get this big place to live in and then you get paid to like be in this beautiful forest and hike and stuff like that. Like, I actually used to be very much an outdoorsy person, believe it or not. I know I spend all my time now like inside playing The Sims, but I used to like really go on hikes. I used to camp a lot. I used to do a lot of like, what's it called? Troop stuff, like Girl Scout stuff. But yeah, I haven't done that in a long time, like a long time. Summer camp stuff, I used to work at a summer camp too, that was pretty fun. But I live somewhere else now and it's really freaking cold here, so I don't really have an opportunity to go and camp and hike, at least not right at this moment. But I'm hoping to get back into it when it warms up and then I'm more familiar with the area that I recently moved to, and then maybe I can go on some hikes again, you know? Maybe I can start bird watching or something like that. Yeah. I don't really understand bird watching that much. I think it's a really, like, interesting conceptually. I don't understand what people actually do. Like, I'm just curious. Like, do they just go and look for birds and it's like are birds, like, particularly, like, rare to see? I don't know. If someone can explain bird watching to me, that would be great, because I'm interested. Maybe I'll buy a pair of binoculars and bird watch. I don't know. Let's see what I'm doing here. Just putting in more decorations. You guys can see that this is a little bit Urban Outfitters inspired, like I said before. It just, I don't know, it just has that vibe. Maybe it's the color palette and the hanging plants, but I'm definitely feeling some Urban Outfitters here. Yeah. You know what, Urban Outfitters sucks because I love their home section, but it's so freaking expensive. I cannot afford it. But they have so many cute things, so I'm just like, ugh, no. But yeah, I'm setting up a little bookshelf over here, or just some sort of like filing cabinet situation for their data. Cute little rug, which I swap out, I'm pretty sure, in a second. Let's see. Let's see. I know I swap out this rug. I'm like, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Goodbye, cute little rug. Hello, prettier rug. I'm just kidding. They're both equally pretty rugs. I do like this round rug, it's very cute. So this is kind of like a little chill nook. The bookshelves are very, I don't know what word to use, utilitarian? The bookshelves with their like gray color and like all their files and stuff like that. Obviously those are government issued shelves where they have to store their data. But that's just kind of what I was going for with this build, is mixing things that seemed like was already part of this like ranger station, with like the additional designs that the people who are now here put in, you know. So they took this government space and made it cute and fun. That was the idea. Put in this closet, more decorations, bench where they can sit down, put on their boots and shoes, stuff like that. Put this calendar on the wall, which I ended up swapping out for a different calendar, yeah, with that one, which I thought was more reflective of like the environment. Broom and dustpan on the wall, and then I'm just gonna put a little coat rack here so they can hang all their warm jackets because it's probably very cold out here. Clock on the wall, and then let's see. Shelf. Oh, I wanted to cover up this hanging thing because I hated the color of it, so I covered that up. And then I'm just going to, oh, I'm still covering it up. Let's see. I think I use cabinets, yeah, because it was the easiest way to cover it up. I think I use these pink ones, yeah, so it matches the kitchen. That's cute, I like that. And then over here I put in a fire extinguisher, I believe. Let's see, I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, there we go, fire extinguisher, because I was like, well, you know, they're gonna be safe, definitely, because if there's a forest fire and this whole place burns down, that's probably a problem, so. And then here is the big old workspace. So I gave them this big work table, and then I lined this wall with some cabinets or counters, I guess. And I'm not sure exactly, like, again, this is not based on anything real, but I'm not sure exactly like what kind of like data, like what they'd be doing specifically. Like it might be like geology maybe, where they're like looking at rocks. Maybe it's I don't know, geez, maybe they're looking at like feathers or animal droppings or something, like some sort of tracking data that they're looking at. So they just have, it's science for sure. I didn't put any of like the scientific machines from The Sims in here, just because I hate the meshes of them. They're just so big and clunky, and I wanted this place to look a lot more sleek and modern. So I kept it pretty simple with this workspace. It's mainly just a sink, or like these two sinks, and just some quote-unquote science things just around. And then on this big old workbench I put just some laptops, like they were sitting here typing data. Yeah, so these two laptops here. I'm putting in some stools around this big table. Gotta have a plant, you know, because I love plants. Like I said in my previous video, I'm trying to get into plants. I'm not fully there yet. I'm not like, I haven't bought a plant yet. I haven't made the big step in becoming a plant person, but I'm like, in my head, I'm mentally preparing to be a plant person. I'm so conflicted because I've heard that it's difficult. Like a lot of what I've heard is like, oh, like your plants are gonna die, and like all my friends who've tried to be plant people, their plants have like just totally died. But like in the instructions that I see on how to take care of plants, it seems pretty simple. Like you just like water it, and you know, keep it happy and stuff. So I'm like, I don't know what to expect. What I've read online is very different than what I've heard from personal experiences of other people who've tried to be plant people. But I don't know. If you are a plant person or you have a plant, let me know what I should expect, or what a good starter plant is that is not toxic to cats, because I'm not gonna kill my cat over, you know, a golden pothos or whatever that plant is called, if you guys know what I'm talking about. But I set up a little projector screen in this workroom so that they could project data, or they could project some sort of, you know, presentation or graph or anything they needed to show the room, a little chalkboard. And then over here, I end up splitting this room into two, into like kind of like a laundry storage room, and then a little recreational living room. So you can see I put these lockers here, and that's just gonna be extra storage for the people, where they can put in, I don't know what they would store in these lockers, but they could just store some stuff here. And then this room with the green tiles ends up being the little laundry room. So here we're putting in the laundry machines, and then we're just gonna put in a shelf above these machines, I believe. I think I put in a shelf, let's see. And then I just like decorate it, yeah. And then I'm just gonna decorate it pretty lightly with some laundry looking things, I guess. Where am I going? There we go. I'm just gonna put in some soap bottles. That looks like conditioner, but pretend that's like detergent. Little things that look like they could possibly be used in a laundry setting. I thought about putting this emergency flashlight there, and it would make a lot of sense. I just didn't like the color of it. So no emergency flashlight for these girls. And then over here in this room, it's gonna end up being, as I said before, just a little bit of a chill room, a place where they can watch TV and warm by the fire. And it's not that big because I figured most of their time would be spent in the other rooms, you know, doing work and stuff like that. But I figured that they would have this space here, since if they're here for like 6 months to a year, they're probably gonna need a recreational space. But I really do like the design in this room. Doesn't it remind you of Urban Outfitters? Like, I don't know why, like I keep thinking that. Maybe it's the color palette. Maybe it's like these type of like boho-y pillows, something like that. I don't know. Let me know if you see what I'm seeing with the Urban Outfitters thing. Put up a little gallery wall, and then I'm gonna put in curtains. And then over here is gonna be a little fireplace, a mounted TV. Because I figured it'd be cold here, so they would need the fireplace just to warm up a little bit. And then I'm just gonna decorate it pretty lightly, some flowers, books, etc., etc., making the space seem used. And then I'm just gonna put in a little lounge chair in this corner here with a footstool. I really like this chair. The texture of it is just really, I don't know, very pleasing to me. Like I've said a million times before, custom content creators are a gift to this world, and they are amazing people, and I'm just constantly impressed by their work. But here I'm putting in a little side table underneath the window that can kind of act as a mini coffee table, putting on a plant, and then I'm just gonna put a book and a mug on there just to make it seem used again. I use that phrase a lot, make it seem used. But what I mean by that is just I like making my spaces seem like they're snapshots of in the middle of being used, if that makes sense. That's such a weird way for me to explain it. Like, I know you guys know what I mean, but I mean, you know, making my spaces seem like it's a frozen in time picture of what it would look like while people were living there. Because, you know, when people inhabit a space, it's not always like clean cut and, you know, empty. And obviously it would not be as organized and clean cut as this, probably. I don't know anyone who lives this organized. But I do like to put in details every now and then of, you know, human life. Little books, mugs, notepads, just little things to make it seem like, you know, someone was here and someone was using this space and they left out, you know, their pencil or something like that. I'm just decorating the upstairs now. I already did the bathroom and the hallway, kept it pretty simple. Over here, this is just gonna be another hallway table. Pretty simple decorations, books and plants, because I love books and plants. And then let's see, putting in more storage baskets, and then we're gonna move on to the bedrooms. Honestly, these aren't my favorite bedrooms that I've ever decorated. I much prefer the rest of this facility compared to the bedrooms. I don't know what it was about these that I didn't really vibe with. I don't know if it was just like poor choice of color palette or I didn't really like the beds or something like that. I don't know. Like, it turns out fine. Like, I'm not like trashing it. It's just, I feel like the rest of this home is a little bit more what I was going for than these bedrooms. But you can make your own conclusion. I'm just putting in some, what's it called? Blinds, carpet, keeping it pretty simple. Didn't go too, what's the word? Detailed on this room. I think I was probably pretty tired by this point too, because as you know, my sleep schedule got screwed up a long time ago and I build very late now. So sometimes I think the result of that is that my builds start to get a little bit sleepy. I'm a little bit like, oh, I want to sleep. Let's get this bedroom over with. If you guys know what I mean. That might have been what happened here. But I don't know. Let's see what you guys think of it. Like, it's not bad. It's a cute bedroom, but I feel like I could have definitely gone like full send on the Urban Outfitter thing, and I only went like half send on these rooms, but it's okay. I'm just gonna decorate pretty lightly with some little posters on the wall, little maybe notes from their family, little pictures, just personal items. Same thing in this room, desk, closet, pretty much the same kind of deal. Yeah, I figured that these would be more like personal use computers because the computers downstairs would be more for like work. So these ones would just be like, you know, in their free time, they can FaceTime their family or something like that. And then out here, I thought about putting in a grill. So I put one over there, putting in some dirt, and yeah, that is the full build. Let me know what you guys think of this one. It was fun to do. I really liked using, these walls and floors, and just I use a lot of custom content that I don't usually use, so I'm always happy to do that. But as always, please leave any suggestions you have below for any builds you would like to see in the future. And yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.